Red and green lights flickered from the police car, casting reflections onto the newly locked steel gate of Karoline Leavitt's home. Shadows stretched long across her driveway in New Hampshire. As Trump's former White House press secretary, she had installed the gate to keep strangers out, especially after receiving threats on X. From her porch, arms crossed, she watched two officers step out. Her liberal neighbor, Emily, wasted no time launching into a dramatic performance, shrieking about what she called a community emergency. "Officer!" Emily's voice cut through the night as the older cop, Sergeant Doyle, approached. "She illegally blocked a public road." Karoline sighed, rubbing her temple. "This is my driveway, private property. I have every right to lock it." Emily's voice rose to a shrill pitch. "Not true. Everyone uses this road. You can't just block it." "MAGA types like you think you own everything," Karoline fired back. "Just because people have been using it doesn't mean it's public. It means they don't respect boundaries." Emily fumed, turning to the officers. "She thinks being Trump's lackey gives her the right to do whatever she wants." The younger officer, Rivera, glanced at the gate, then froze. A black SUV crept past, its windows pitch black. Emily kept ranting, but Karoline's attention locked on the vehicle. Something about it felt off. Emily planted her hands on her hips, still blazing with fury. Doyle turned to Karoline, voice steady but edged with doubt. "Got papers proving this is private property?" Without a word, Karoline stepped inside, grabbed a file from the table and handed it over. "Here, ownership documents. This driveway's been mine since I bought the house. Nothing's changed except I'm done with freeloaders." She shot Emily a sharp look. "Some people love drama." Doyle flipped through the pages, then nodded. "Legally, she's right. If it's private, she can block it." Emily's jaw dropped. "What? You're serious? She's Trump's girl, of course she'd say that. This has been a shared path for years." She spun toward Rivera, pleading. "She's ruining the neighborhood with her MAGA nonsense." Rivera, quiet until now, studied Karoline with an unreadable expression. "Miss Leavitt, why lock it now? Something change?" Karoline's voice was calm but firm. "Started a new job in D.C., got threats on X. That's reason enough, right?" She held up her phone, still live streaming. "Thousands agree with me." The screen flashed, 10,000 views, comments flooding in. Emily roared, "Threats? You're making that up to justify this. This is public land, not the White House backyard." She yanked out her phone, filming her own video. "Look at this. Trump. Stooge blocking our road," Karoline smirked. "Public land, my foot. Sue me, Emily." Doyle sighed, handing back the papers. "By law, she's in the right. Nothing to do here." He turned to Rivera. "Let's go." But Rivera didn't move. He was staring down the street. The black SUV was back, this time moving even slower. "Sarge, you see that car?" Doyle frowned. The SUV hesitated for a second, then sped off around the corner. Karoline gripped her phone tighter. "That's the second time I've seen it tonight." Rivera stepped closer to the gate, scanning faint tire marks on the road. "Not a local car. Got cameras?" Karoline nodded and pulled up her security app. "Whole driveway's covered. I'll check later." Emily had gone quiet. Her eyes were still fixed on the spot where the SUV had vanished. Doyle waved dismissively. "Probably just someone lost. We're done here." But Rivera's gaze stayed on Karoline. "If anything weird happens, call me. I don't like that car." He handed her his card, voice low. "I voted for Trump once. Be careful." Karoline gave a slight nod and pocketed the card. As the officers returned to their car, she noticed Doyle glance back at Emily. Emily, suddenly pale, muttered under her breath, "You don't know who you're messing with." Karoline turned, voice cold. "What did you say?" Emily shook, her head and back toward her house. But her eyes weren't angry anymore, they were scared. Karoline locked the gate and watched the police drive away. Then she opened her camera app. Dark footage loaded. Her breath caught. Two figures stood by the driveway, last night, right where she had dug. Her heart pounded. They hadn't vandalized. They had just stood there, silently, watching. Then just like that, it vanished. Karoline's pulse raced, not from fear but suspicion. Someone knows something, she murmured, swiping through her phone. Yesterday she had dug at the edge of her driveway, planning a play area for her son. But her shovel had struck something hard. Not rock, concrete, smooth, cold, like it had been buried on purpose. She'd stopped, filmed a close-up. A flat slab, sharp-edged, caked in red dirt. What the hell is this? She sent the clip to White House security through encrypted chat. An hour. Later, their response, not enough data to investigate. Stay cautious. Karoline smirked. Typical DC bureaucracy. She settled onto the couch, opened her laptop, and replayed security footage from the past week. Night 1. After digging, nothing. Night 2. A figure zipped by, too fast to identify. Night 3. Last night. 2 figures. Standing over the concrete. She zoomed in, light from the street lamp glinting off their shoulders. Their faces were still blurred. Not neighbors, she whispered, gripping the mouse. Then, she heard it. A faint screech, metal against metal. Her stomach tightened as she maxed out the volume. The screech sharpened. Someone was testing the gate. Then, giving up. Karoline stood, grabbed a flashlight, and stepped onto the back porch. She swept the beam across the dig site. The dirt was still messy, but now she saw it more clearly. The concrete wasn't just a slab, it had an outline like a lid. She knelt, running her fingers over the icy surface. This isn't old house foundation, a memory surfaced. Trump's closed door. Rants about Russian plots, underground caches, hidden secrets. Could this connect to the threats? She locked up, checked on her sleeping son. His steady breathing calmed her, but her mind kept racing. Then her phone buzzed, an X notification. Be careful, Karoline. Someone DM'd me saying you're being watched. She opened the message, eyes scanning fast. Anonymous. No name. Don't dig. More. They're not kidding. Her fingers tightened around the phone. Screenshot. Sent it to Rivera with a quick text. SUV related? Under 10 minutes, Rivera replied. Meet me tomorrow morning. I checked the tire marks. Not a normal car. Karoline set her phone down but kept her gaze on the window. Headlights. The black SUV. Again. 3rd time tonight. This time, it wasn't just passing by. It was crawling, like it wanted her to see it. She raised her phone, filmed through the glass, zoomed in on the plate. Blurry. Unreadable. Fine, she muttered. Let's see who's faster. She posted the clip on X. Who's this SUV stalking me? Over the gate or something else? X, help me find out. The post exploded 20,000 views. 5 minutes. Comments flooding in. Trump haters. Stay safe, Karoline. Others. That's Fed behavior. But one stood out. Ask Emily. She knows something. Karoline frowned. Her gaze shifted across the street. Emily's house. Lights still on. Behind the curtains, Emily's shadow moved, pacing, hands clutching her head like she was stressed. Pre-dawn. Karoline stood by the driveway, coat pulled tight, coffee in hand. Eyes locked on the dig site. Rivera arrived. No uniform, just a hoodie and jeans. You okay? He asked, voice low. She nodded and pointed. I dug this up yesterday. Then, they showed. Rivera knelt, running his hand over the concrete. His frown deepened. This isn't normal, he muttered. Too smooth, too deep. Karoline recounted the footage, the messages, the SUV. Rivera nodded, pulling out his phone. Tire marks, I checked. Big vehicle not registered nearby. Ran the plate last night. Not in the system. He looked up, eyes sharp. You've touched. Something you shouldn't. Karoline smirked. Daily life in DC. She took a sip of coffee. But I'm not stopping. Her eyes flicked toward Emily's house. Emily was standing at the door, her hands shaking, her voice cracked. You don't get it, Leavitt. That thing, it's dangerous. Karoline turned, voice cold. What do you know, Emily? Spill it, before I find out myself. Emily paled, took a step back. I don't want to be involved, but my brother, he dug there once, then they came. Rivera cut in. Who's they? Emily shook her head, eyes wild. I don't know, but they don't forgive. Karoline and Rivera stood in silence, their breath fogging in the cold morning air. Emily retreated inside. The door slammed shut, but her words echoed. They don't forgive. Karoline turned to Rivera, her voice steady. She knows something. She won't talk, Rivera said. Karoline sipped her coffee, gaze fixed on the dig site. You buying? Rivera shrugged, eyes fixed on the concrete. I'd bet she's scared. Those tire marks don't lie. Big vehicle, unregistered. Someone's watching you. Karoline nodded, checking X on her phone. Her SUV post had exploded. 50,000 views. Comments poured in. Stay safe, Karoline. Check underground. A DM popped up. Ask Emily about her brother. He worked for a leftist group. Karoline frowned, screenshotted it, and sent it to Rivera. Legit? He read fast, then nodded. Maybe. I'll dig deeper. You stay careful. Rivera left, leaving Karoline alone with the concrete and a head full of questions. Inside, she locked up, checked on her son. He was still asleep, curled around a Trump bear she'd bought in D.C. She smiled, but her chest felt heavy. Then her phone buzzed. Anonymous X message. Stop digging or your whole family pays. Her fists clenched. Screenshot. Sent it to Rivera. Then she posted it publicly. Threatening me? X, here's proof. The post blew up. $100,000. Views in 20 minutes. That night, she didn't sleep. Sitting in the living room, laptop open, she combed through security footage. AM. The black SUV appeared again, parked over the concrete, headlights off. She zoomed in, plate still blurry. But the tire marks were clearer, deep, heavy, like a military truck. Then she heard it. Metal, screeching, same lock-cutting sound. But the new steel gate held. Keep trying, she muttered, hands trembling slightly. She video called her husband. Voice, low. Babe, something's up at home. SUV, threats, and something underground. He frowned from his Boston hotel room. Stop it, Karoline. Don't mess with this. The kid's young. She shook her head. I'm not quitting. This might tie to Trump, I have to know. He exhaled sharply. Then get your mom to watch him. I'm worried. She nodded, hung up and texted her mom. Come help me out for a few days. Kayam, a noise. Soft, but enough to jolt her. She killed the lights, grabbed a flashlight, crept to the back porch. The beam hit the driveway. The dirt was disturbed. Near the concrete like someone had dug, then covered it fast. She knelt, saw faint tire marks, the SUV again. They're back, she whispered, heart pounding. She filmed, posted to X. Someone messed with my driveway at midnight. X, keep watch. Next morning, her mom arrived holding her son. What's got you so worked up, Karoline? Karoline forced a smile. Just work, Mom, but trickier than DC. She stepped outside. Checked the tire marks, deeper than she thought, bigger than a typical SUV. Rivera pulled up in a coat. No uniform. I ran the plate through police systems, he said. Nothing but these tracks, he knelt, measuring with his hand. This is not a civilian vehicle. Karoline pointed at the concrete. They want this. Emily said her brother dug here. Then they came. Rivera exhaled. I found something. Her brother Tom, leftist reporter, investigated land around here in 2018, then quit. No one knows why. Karoline frowned. She's been hiding that from the start. Her jaw tightened. I'll get it out of her. She marched to Emily's. Door no knocking, just pounding. Emily opened it, pale, dark circles under her eyes. What now, Leavitt? Karoline stepped forward, voice cold. Your brother Tom. What does he know about what's underground? Don't lie. They're watching me. Maybe you too. Emily, flinched, stepping back. I don't want to be part of this, she whispered. Tom. He dug there, found something weird. Then they came. Who? Rivera cut in. Emily's hands trembled. Men in black, silent. His house burned a week later. He quit everything. Karoline's fists clenched. Who's they? Emily shook her head, tears welling. I don't know, but last night, that SUV, it parked outside my house. They just stood there, staring at yours. Rivera's gaze sharpened. If they're back, it means Miss Leavitt hit something they want buried. Karoline's voice was like ice. Be scared all you want, I'm not stopping. She turned away. Rivera followed. What's your plan? She pointed at the concrete. Open it. His expression darkened. Risky. That SUV isn't civilian. Could be government. Or worse. Karoline smirked. I worked for Trump. Risk is my job. That night she sat by the window, eyes on the street. A.M. The SUV returned. Lingering. Longer. She filmed. Zoomed. The door opened. A figure stepped out, all black. Staring. At her house, Karoline's phone buzzed. Anonymous X message. You won't get away. She screenshotted it, sent it to Rivera. Then she posted. They're back. X. I need eyes everywhere. The post exploded. 200,000 views, but she didn't have time to read the comments. Time was running out. She had to act. Karoline called Rivera. Tomorrow morning. Bring tools. We're cracking this open. A pause. Then, Rivera's voice. Low, serious. All right, but if we go down there, there's no turning back. Karoline nodded, though he couldn't see. I'm ready. Next morning. The fog hung thick. Karoline stood by the driveway, cold coffee in hand. Inside, her mom watched over her son, who was stacking Trump-themed blocks. Rivera pulled up, stepping, out with a tool bag, crowbar, flashlight, and a gun tucked in his coat. He scanned the quiet street. You sure? Karoline nodded, pointed at the concrete. They won't stop. Neither will I. Open it. She pulled out her phone and started an X live stream. Folks, I'm about to find out what's under my driveway. If I disappear, this is why. X, keep watch. She panned to the concrete. The dirt around it was still marked by last night's tire tracks. The stream exploded. 50,000 views in 5 minutes. Comments flew in. Watch out, Karoline. Trump would be proud. Rivera frowned. You're streaming this? She smirked. Public. Proof is my weapon. Then, Emily's door swung open. She stumbled out, pale, trembling, oversized coat hanging off her frame. You're insane, Leavitt. Don't do it. Karoline turned, voice sharp. What's down there, Emily? Tell me or stay out of my way. Emily's eyes darted, scanning the street, like she expected someone to be watching. Her voice shook. I don't want to die. What did Tom say? Emily hugged herself. That it's something no one should see. They'll kill us all. Rivera cut in. If you won't talk, we'll find out. But what about you? Alone? Emily bit her lip. Tears slipped down her face. Fine. I'm in. If I stay, I'm a target anyway. Karoline nodded. No sympathy. Good. Shut up if you can't help. Rivera dropped his bag, handed Karoline the crowbar. You start. I've got your back. She gripped the cold metal, jammed it into a crack in the concrete. Dirt crumbled away. They worked fast. Karoline pried. Rivera pulled. Emily shivered behind them. Then, screech. The concrete shifted. Pop. A rush of air escaped. Stale, old, heavy. Karoline staggered back, covering her nose. What is that? Rivera aimed his flashlight. A black hole gaped beneath them. A rusted metal ladder plunged into the dark. This wasn't a basement. Rivera's voice dropped to a whisper. This is something else. Emily backed up, voice breaking. I don't. Like this, we should leave. Karoline turned, eyes sharp. Leaving means they win. I didn't work for Trump to run. She lifted her phone, filmed everything. X, see this? A ladder. Under my driveway. Who put it here? 100,000 views in minutes. Comments chaotic. Secret bunker. Watch for Russia. She pocketed the phone. Looked at Rivera. You first. Rivera clipped the flashlight to his shoulder. Descended. The ladder creaked under his weight. Metal walls. Cold air. He called up, voice echoing. Clear, so far. Karoline followed. Hands tight on the rungs. Palms slick with sweat. The air down here was heavy, frigid, like another world. Emily hesitated, then sighed. I'm crazy to follow you, she muttered, climbing down. Karoline's feet hit metal flooring. She swept her flashlight across the space, a narrow hallway, gray metal walls, faded warning signs, not in English. Rivera pointed. Cyrillic. Russian. Karoline's stomach tightened. The Soviet Union. Under New Hampshire. Emily's voice was a whisper. Tom said, they buried this long ago, to watch someone. Karoline stepped forward. The beam of light caught something. Boot prints. Fresh. Not theirs. Her pulse spiked. Someone's been here. Recently. Rivera's hand brushed his gun. They know you, Doug. Might be waiting. Karoline turned to Emily. What else did Tom see? Tell me everything. Emily shook her head. He didn't say, just that it was dangerous. Then he ran. Karoline swept the light farther. The hallway stretched ahead. At the end, a metal door, rusted, cracked open. She moved toward it. Rivera, at her side. Emily trailing, her whisper cut through the dark. If this is Russian, it could tie to Trump. Rivera nodded. Or worse, someone was still using this place. Karoline clenched her fist. She pushed the door. Metal screeched, icy air rushed out. She turned to Rivera and Emily. No turning back now. Ready? Rivera nodded. Eyes cold, steady. Emily exhaled shakily. I don't want to, but I'm here. Karoline shoved the door open. Darkness swallowed them. Her flashlight cut through the black. The air was thick, cold, stale. The scent of rusted metal and ancient, damp earth clawed at her nose. She stepped inside. Rivera followed, hand lightly resting on his gun. Emily clung behind them, breathing hard, her eyes darting like a trapped animal. The room was small, gray metal walls enclosing rows of old machines. Dusty. CRT screens lined one side, thick cables snaking across the floor like dead serpents. In the center, a control panel flickered weakly, its screen a static-filled white. Karoline's pulse hammered. What the hell is this? She whispered, sweeping the light over the machinery. Rivera approached the panel. He wiped away the dust. A faint logo emerged, a hammer and sickle. Soviet Rivera's voice was low, tense. Cold War base. Karoline's chest tightened. Under my driveway. She flashed back to closed White House briefings. Trump mentioning Russian, spies infiltrating America since the 70s. Maybe. A listening post, she muttered. Emily pressed against the wall, shaking. Tom said it was buried and forgotten. Her breath hitched, but they didn't forget. Karoline spun. What did your brother find here? Spill it. Emily swallowed hard. Papers, Russian maps, names. She shuddered. He thought it was SP, then ran. After they threatened him, Rivera cut in. Who's they? Emily shook her head, eyes frantic. Tom didn't know, just that they were powerful enough to... Her voice cracked. Burn his house. Karoline knelt, picked up a torn scrap of paper from the floor. Faded ink. Cyrillic script. She handed it to Rivera. Can you read it? He scanned it, brow furrowing. List of locations. He glanced up. D.C., Boston, New York, dates from the 1980s. Karoline's fists clenched. A real spy station. But why were they back now? She aimed her light at the panel. Dust covered everything, except the keyboard, recently used. Her Voice dropped. Someone's still active here. Rivera checked the cables. Still connected, still humming with power. This place is alive, he murmured. He pointed to the wall. A small mic was mounted in the corner, wired into the machine. Listening. Karoline's stomach twisted. They can hear us. Without hesitation, she stepped over and yanked the mic free. Snap. The wires tore, but the machine's light kept blinking. She exhaled sharply. They know we're down here. Her hands were cold. She pulled out her phone. Started recording. X, look at this. Soviet base under my house. Still running. Someone's tracking me. No signal. She cursed. Saved the video for later. Emily clutched her head, voice breaking. I told you we need to go now. Karoline turned sharp. Running means they win. She took a step deeper inside, scanning the walls. A map, old, faded, red dots. She leaned in. D.C., the White House, CIA headquarters. Her breath caught. She whispered, "This isn't just history." Rivera's face darkened. If Russia left this... He inhaled sharply. Someone's reactivated it. His voice was grim. Against Trump. Karoline swept the light across the floor. Fresh boot prints. Multiple sizes. Not just one person. Her jaw tightened. More of them than we thought. Rivera checked the door. Not locked. Heavy. Recently opened. Someone had been coming and going. Regularly, Emily trembled. Tom said, they had people here. Sleeper spies. Waiting for orders. Karoline smirked. Sleeper? She stepped toward the console. Brushed a finger over the keyboard. Still warm, unlike the freezing air. She hit enter. The static screen flickered. Russian text appeared. Rivera read fast. Last order, monitor target. Report to D.C. A pause. Sent last week. Karoline's blood ran cold. She clenched her fist. Targets me. Because of Trump. The X threats. Not random. They wanted her silenced. Rivera's flashlight swept to a rusted iron cabinet. The lock was ajar. He pulled it open. Inside, cassette tapes, old papers, a Soviet-style recorder. Karoline grabbed a tape. Handwritten label Spider Project, 1985. She held it up. What's this? Rivera shook his head. No idea, but it sounds bad. She pocketed the tape. She'd analyze it later. Emily took a shaky step back. Her voice cracked. We need to leave. Now. I'm panicked enough. I can't take this. Emily's voice was high, shaking. Karoline turned, eyes cold. Then stay and help, or shut it. I'm not stopping. She swept her flashlight forward. A hallway stretched ahead. Pitch black, the hum of unseen machines echoing through the metal walls. Rivera pointed. More ahead. Keep going? Karoline nodded. Got to know it all. They stepped forward. The air grew heavier, colder. The walls, stained. Some bore warning signs. Karoline's light flickered over one. Red Cyrillic letters, danger, a larger door. Loomed ahead. Old, metal. An electronic lock blinked green. She touched it. Still active. Rivera examined the panel. No key. Just a card slot beside it. Needs a code, he muttered. Or we break it. Emily gasped, stepping back. Don't. They'll know. Karoline turned, voice flat. They already know, Emily. She met Rivera's gaze. SUV, Mike. They're waiting for our move. She grabbed Rivera's crowbar, jammed it into the door seam. Help me. Rivera nodded, gripping the metal. Together, they pulled. The door screeched. Shifted. A low mechanical growl rumbled from inside, like an old engine waking up. Karoline peered through the gap. Her light hit a larger room, complex machinery, screens flickering with data. Her breath caught. She whispered, "This isn't just a listening post." Rivera nodded, eyes hard. "It's a control hub." Emily hugged herself, shaking. "I told you we're dead." Karoline gripped the crowbar tighter. She turned to them, jaw set. Dead or not, I need the truth. Trump trusts me. I won't let him down. She stepped inside, ready to face whatever waited. Small issues now explode into ideological battlegrounds. Karoline's use of X to livestream, rallying thousands, shows how technology amplifies conflict, a reality of modern America. Social media isn't just for opinions anymore. It's a battlefield where people defend their beliefs and seek allies. The discovery of a Soviet base underground taps into deep-seated fears, espionage, conspiracy, and the ever-present shadow of Russian interference. These aren't relics of the Cold War. They're revived anxieties in an era of election meddling and global tension. Karoline's unwavering resolve in protecting Trump mirrors the spirit of countless Americans who stand by their ideals, no matter the risk. But Emily's shift from enemy to reluctant ally hints at something deeper, the possibility of unity. If fear can be overcome, so can division. The takeaway? In a polarized world, don't let disagreements blind you. Be like Karoline, fearless, strategic, and ready to use tech to protect yourself. But also be like Emily, willing to break personal barriers when the truth demands it. Because truth, whether a hidden base or an everyday conflict, only emerges when you face it head-on. Running won't save you. Subscribe now to see if Karoline makes it out alive and uncover who's really behind this plot.